And so, again, that was laid on my heart as a mission to spread that word of encouragement, because the opposition doesn't actually end there, but all of those adversities, they prune you, and in retrospect you realize that he was carrying you the entire time. And as we know from Job's story, God has to actually allow this to happen. So when he allows it, he already knows the outcome, because he is the Alpha and the Omega, beginning and the end. And he is omniscient. So he has prescient knowledge of your strength even when you don't know it yourself. He knows what your outcome will be even when you don't know yourself. He knows what's within you, because there's a self that you don't know, and there is a self that no one knows. So the only person who knows you fully is God himself. And so you see, when the oppositions came thereafter in life, where your motives are misinterpreted for whatever reason, or you are doing what you think is best, you're working hard, you are standing with your integrity, even when you're standing alone, and you're being courageous, and yet you're being questioned, or you're rejected, which I've come to realize that rejection is actually redirection. You have to really think about those times in your life, and I'm only saying this in retrospect because going through it is always going to be difficult, but I hope that my knowledge and my enlightenment that I have gained in retrospect, you see, will help others there going through similar experiences to then realize that indeed you could actually be in the right but be perceived to be in the wrong. So when you question yourself, as long as you know that you are standing bravely exactly where you should be, doing exactly what you should be doing, then there may be a reason that you're being opposed. And in a discussion with my sister-in-law, this point was raised, and it was interesting because what I stated was that maybe the assignment is over. So there is redirection in rejection, and your assignment may very well be over when you're opposed, and then it's time to move on. Because if I was never opposed, and if I was never rejected, and if I never had the adversities prior to that to deal with the opposition and the rejection, then I would not be in the position to encourage you today. And so, I am indeed grateful for the revelations from adversities. And that is why the channel is called Revelations from the Oxymorons of Life. As T.D. Jakes has said many times, grief should never be wasted. There is gain in pain. And Dr. Darius Daniels has this expression that I think is quite profound. He states that adversity is the door that leads to elevation and transformation. Because it is only when we are challenged that we really know what we're made of. It's only when we are forced to be creative because we have no other options, that we realize how strong we actually can be and how much we have within us, not just for us, but to share with others. And so I will leave you with this prose that I wrote a few weeks ago, one of those 2 a.m., 3 a.m. mornings, familiarity with adversities. And I reference this because of the connection that I have with my patients, which I mentioned in my last podcast, I think is certainly due to the adversities I've had to face. Familiarity with adversities, not the same, I'm the first to proclaim, but I'd recognize that face even in the darkness or raining blizzard days. That visage, painted with utter despair, begs the question, why me, God? Or can you even hear? Repeat it, I ask him. My mom's arms, body, now limb, hope ripped, dreams shattered. Now what is life, or does it even matter? But her words echoed, resonant, as if beckoning from afar. Hold on, my dear child. It hurts, yes I know, and it will leave a scar. But my daughter of honor, my sweet avatar, he is sovereign, he's God. Your future is in the palm of his hands. He'll keep you safe, she said, in his perfect will. That was the axiomatic truth. For decades later, here I stand, as evidence that God answers prayers on demand, if you just keep holding on to his unchanging hands. Thank you for listening.